Hey there, garden fans, and welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. This little garden has grown a lot in just a year and a half, and I always take a deep breath when I do one of these garden updates because it's just so large and it's starting to get overwhelming. But I got a couple cut and paste clips here of me just walking around the garden, showing you what's up. I've got a lot of trees, I've got a lot of berries. I'm trying to companion plant everything. And I'm really trying to just grow perennials, trying to get away from annuals and just have a perennial food forest growing here. And it's really starting to do good in some areas, and other areas I have open and ready to plant more. So enjoy today's little journey. Appreciate y'all watching in advance, and your thumbs up and your subscription. God bless. Alright, it'll probably be easiest to just start at the top of my property and work my way down. But at the highest point of my property, I have the totally enclosed area. It's a coop and run that's totally enclosed, and then I can open that up and give them access to another area here with the beehive and other trees. This was a giant hugel swale that I dug. I did a little maintenance on it today. Behind it are 2 plum trees, and they're companion planted with mountain mint, which is really starting to spread. I'm really happy for that. I'm hoping to have a nice patch of mint growing underneath these plum trees right here. At the very top of the property, I'm doing all my composting. So all the green waste, yard clippings, everything comes up here. I turn the pile with my chickens, and the soil down here is really starting to get nice and dark and rich. This used to be just dry play sand, but now I'm starting to get some good soil after a year and a half, in this area at least. So, top of the property, highest point, I've got, brambles growing on the fence. I've got a blackberry here that's already fruited for me once, and it's blown back up on this fence. Got a grape tree here, a grape, muscadine grape actually, and it really enjoys the shade. So I'm working it over here to the fence, and it's going to eventually just climb down the wall here. I'll have one long muscadine cane going all the way down to my rabbit cages. I've got my greenhouse put up, and you know what, garden fans? Today I put in a new beehive stand. Enjoy those clips here. So here she is, the new beehive stand. Let me get her sized up and ready to go. I got a new beehive stand put in today. I built it. It's a double screen. I'm going to do a more detailed episode on that later, so keep in touch. But as of now, I'm going to be expanding the bee operation, and this is the start of it. Those posts are dug in the ground about a foot. The table ain't going nowhere. It's been leveled and everything. So bee operation's doing good. Chicken operation's doing good. I got my greenhouse put up today too. Winter's on its way. This was an easy one to put up this year. Check out that clip here. a normal day, you know, for me. This is a normal day. I try to pick a day or two of the week to work at the homestead and just maintain it, but I got my hoop house up. So far there's a lot of lettuce greens in here, lemon balm, salad, peas, and then herb beds in the back. I know that one day these cedar beds are going to break down, and I've built that into the plan. And what I'm trying to do is I'm openly rooting figs and apples and other trees in these boxes. So I'm hoping by spring, maybe a couple of these prunings will actually take root, and I'll have a couple fig trees and apple trees growing in these boxes. What I'll eventually do is break the boxes down and then wood chip over the big piles of dirt. Kind of like a chinapa, something similar. But let's get back on with the garden update. There's so much going on, it's hard to hit it all, but my goal on about a third of acre that we got is to try to plant a tree, a fruit tree of some variety every 6 feet, and then in between the rows plant berries. In the main garden here I've got rows of peaches, pears, figs, and they're interspersed with blackberries and elderberry, since they grow very well, zone 8 native. All my fruit trees, I try to companion plant them. This year's companion plant was sweet potatoes, got comfrey and basil growing, along with a lot of the buckwheat. And underneath this buckwheat there's a layer of clover coming up, the next generation. So I cover crop, I companion plant, and I plant perennials everywhere. And my goal is to really have the perennials take over. You can kind of see it in the swale here. Here's a swale right here. And in the swale, the wettest part, the blackberries are really starting to take off. So I've got parent plants planted everywhere, and some of the parent plants I've actually openly dug them into the ground. So I'm propagating the root tips or the cane tips. Here's one right here that's doing really well. I just took a cane and stuck it in the ground. I'll be able to cut that from the parent plant, and I'll just keep working canes through this area until I got nothing but fruit trees and berry bushes. So here's a peach tree, and 6 feet away there's another peach tree, and 6 feet away from this peach tree there's a fig tree. And in between everything I'm trying to put perennials or self-seeders. Here's more basil that's gone to seed. I got collards that have self-seeded and self-sown. Got oregano coming up. Yarrow that's been eaten up by the bunnies, but still flowering. So I'm companion planting everything with perennials and keeping trees every 6 feet apart. So 6 feet away from this fig is a pear tree that was diseased. It's been heavily pruned, but it seems to be coming back. It's got companion plants of raspberries around it. In between my peach tree and fig here is a giant hedge of elderberry. I don't know how long y'all been following me, but this patch of elderberry here started out as a couple sticks in the ground in just March of this year. And some of those canes are about 8 feet tall now, as tall as the peach tree. So I've been really impressed with the growth and the vigor of the elderberry here in my zone. Got another peach tree growing in a box over here. It's companion planted. Once again, it's 6 feet away from the nearest pear tree. And he's got some garlic chives and oregano. No, I'm sorry, this is thyme. So I got thyme and chives growing around another dwarf peach tree. In the spring, I want to add, maybe a mulberry, maybe an apricot tree. you know, something. This big giant green bush is pigeon pea. If you've been following me for a while, I tried some pigeon pea for the first time ever. It's a great nitrogen fixer. Hasn't yet flowered yet, but it's a great green manure. And maybe I'll get some pigeon pea out of it, I don't know. If I don't, I'll at least have a lot of green manure, and when I cut it off at the base, it's going to provide nutrients for the pear tree growing right next to it. Everything I do here is trying to do permaculture. I'm companion planting, I'm growing stuff in bunches, I've got space for another tree right here, I got space for another tree over here. I'm just going to keep doing my research and smartly adding local natives. I've got a sweet potato bucket here growing. Man, I keep in touch. I'm not ready to yet turn that one under, but it's getting close. And I like growing my potatoes in buckets. It just keeps them disease free, and I can really control the situation better. I've got a hedge, an herb hedge here, some lavender and rosemary. Really needs to be weeded a little bit, but eventually this rosemary and lavender and some more down here is really going to take over. So it'll give this walkway a nice little English garden look. It'll be cute, I'm sure. Some more lavender and rosemary. These guys will get real big and provide a nice little hedge for anybody walking through the garden. There's so much going on here, guys. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm really trying to grow as much as I can so that I can be as self-sufficient as possible. I know 100% is not ideal, or you know, maybe you can be 100% self-sufficient, but it takes work. I know that now, and I know that even with what I've done, I may only provide 60, maybe 70% of what I need. So it's tough. It's hard to be totally self-sufficient on a small piece of land, but you can at least provide for yourself a lot. You know, we got eggs, we got bees, we got honey, we got rabbits, of which, you know, I'm probably not going to delve into any further. You know, maybe if I went out and hunted a little more, I could really pull in some meat and be self-sufficient. But our journey through homesteading in a suburban environment has been awesome. I appreciate you all coming along for the journey and sticking with me throughout this. It's just been 1 year. Keep in touch. I'm kind of surprised to see what comes next. Thanks for watching, everybody. God bless.